saying that in stones, the rooms would be cool. So and then what do you do to those rooms? You then have to go for mud plastering and other things for such types of rooms. Now, how is the stone laid, masonry laid? Let me show you that. So at the bottom, if you are constructing the plinth, you have the stones being laid on the two faces. There is an outer face and the inner face. Or beach mein these are big stones units at the two sides, and in between you would be seeing छोटे छोटे stones के पत्थर डाले जा रहे हैं. So now you then have it acting as two separate walls, and so there is a suitability problem for this, and it usually happens during an earthquake that the two walls actually separate out. बाहर वाला wall अलग act कर रहा है because this is coming up separately and this is coming up separately, और बीच में there is no connection in between. If you are not using concrete to fill these, and still concrete will not properly bind with these, so there always remains this which we call as delamination between the two. So it's actually known as delamination. That could happen between the two walls. So this is how the stone walls are laid out. Now, what are their other uses? Stone wall is actually also being used for, apart from the walls, stones are used for decorative purposes. So they could be used as units for decorative purposes. For example, the picture is not clear. This is a stone wall. It's being used for decorative purposes within the houses now today. As of today, these are the other purposes of the stone walls. Now the suitability of stones could be units used even in the flooring and other things, but we don't want to go into that. As units, we are discussing their suitability here for building construction. So as of today, it's very difficult to find a stone wall being constructed, a complete wall being constructed in stone. So I would like to show you. This is a stone wall wherein the wood is actually being also used. This is wood and these are stones. Now here, if you have a look, there is a runner at the top and then as well running. So stones could be used along with the wood acting as the supporting framework. And then you could be also using them along with clay. Now, as of today, we hardly go with such types of constructions, but it is feasible even today that we can go with these types of constructions, even for our plinths and even for our construction of the walls. And with the use of these types of stones, if they are properly filled up with concrete and then you have proper plastering being done over them on one side, they could still serve the purpose of a very good wall. Moreover, stone has got a property of, other than earthquake resistance, it has also got a property of good strength. Rather, a stone could take even up till 100 megapascal strength, as compared to concrete, which would just take 30 to 40 megapascals strength it could have. So stone could be a much better strength taking, and while as a brick, which is a small unit, would hardly have 7 to 8 megapascals strength at maximum, and it could go maximum up till, in very good quality bricks, it could go up till 10 megapascals. So stone could be much stronger than even concrete in terms of taking strength. So In terms of strength, in terms of earthquake absorption capacity, stone walls are a very good addition. But in terms of thermal insulation, they have a problem. In terms of sound absorption, they have a problem. In terms of vibration in the walls, due to the moving of vehicles outside and the other things, that stones absorb the vibrations much better. So you would not have that problem. But sound insulation and is again a problem in the stone walls. So suitability of stone wall, we can say it's for decorative purposes very good. In plinths, very good that we can use the stone masonry construction there. But the water absorption capacity of the stones, yes, water absorption capacity. Stone walls have a very good water absorption, water resistance capacity. So they are very bad in water absorption. They are very good water resisting mediums. Stones do not usually take because there are hardly any capillaries within the stone, so the water does not come up through the stone masonry wall. So it could be a very good addition to places where there is a lot of water. For example, you must have seen near rivers, you have the river burnt with stones. Let me show you the figures like this, the bunts which are made. In this, just near the riverbed or even in the hills, to resist the water flow and to make the terracing as well as to retain the soil, these bunts are made up of stones. They have very good water resisting capacity. They do not allow the water to move through them. Even in the walls, it's a very good addition for water resistance capacity. So these are the properties of stones as a building brick unit. Now, and this suitability I just discussed, we'll be discussing further about what are the different types of stones and how they are actually being used once we go into the details. Second is the right now we're discussing the suitability of each one of these. कहाँ पर कौन इस्तेमाल हो रहा है and how we can use them. Secondly, you have the bricks, which is a major unit. Now, if you check the properties of brick, I hope it's somewhat clear. This figure, let me try another figure. Europe. The old pattern of bricks which were used in Europe were somewhat like this. Again, their length was larger, longer. This is one pattern that you had prevalent in Europe. With very small brick units. These are old houses. Not like this. The red color being prominent here in the bricks in Russian countries. You had different shapes, which I showed you, the Maharaji bricks and the others. Different sizes, sorry. Now, based on the size of bricks, The nominal size that is being today used for a brick is this. This is a nominal size brick that we use, and this is known as a modular size of a brick. It's prevalent throughout the world. There are standard nominal sizes, mostly 20 centimeter cross 10 centimeter cross 10 centimeter is the size of these bricks. And then in nominal considerations, it would be 19 centimeter cross 9 centimeter cross 9 centimeter. That could also be the size of these bricks in nominal consideration, just 1 centimeter smaller in every dimension. And based on the engineered properties on the inch wise, अगर उसको देखते हैं तो 9 inch into 4 inch into around 4 inch, but they hardly come in around 3 inch here. So then you have different classes of bricks as per the different codes which are being used here. Now, there are different classes of bricks as per different codes. There are IS codes like 1077 is being used. (1077) is one code. 1200 is another code related to bricks. These are for the Indian standard codes. IS 3495. And there are many codes which are used for classification of bricks into different types. Class A bricks, Class B, Class C bricks. These are the usual classes of the bricks that we have. Now, what are these? These are first class bricks, second class bricks. Class A is first class. This is first class brick. First class means best brick. This is second class brick, and this would be the third class brick, Class C. So this would be the worst type of brick. If I show you the figure, be somewhat like this. This would be a Class A brick. Now, what is the property of this? It would have proper edges, proper size, proper shape. इसमें कहीं पर bending नहीं हो रही है, size भी बराबर है. So it is a good brick. And then you would see mostly it is reddish in color, light reddish to dark reddish in color. It's not overburnt. इसमें कहीं पर आपको काले धब्बे नहीं नजर आ रहे हैं ज्यादातर. So it's a Class A brick. And when the two bricks are actually आपस में उनको they are striken with each other, what happens? They give us a sound of a metal, like tang. That's the sound that you get from once the Class A bricks are struck with each other. So then you have Class B bricks, which is worse than in quality, somewhat like this. They will not have proper edges. They will have some कहीं पर फूक चढ़ा होगा उनमें, so they will not be a proper shape. Then you have Class C bricks, which is the worst quality of brick that you can encounter, somewhat like this. Or like this. So they are not of proper shape, not of proper size. They are overburnt. So these types of bricks, you cannot be using Class C brick in the masonry wall construction. Yes, Class C brick could be used, जो कि ऐसी bricks है, they can be used in underground constructions, जहाँ पर आपको load is not a problem, neither the aesthetics is a problem. So their significance would be there. But using them for walls would not be feasible, would not be allowed. So what, and as per the class of the brick, you have their uses. So class A brick is being used in walls mostly, for load bearing walls, जहाँ पर load लेना है walls को, and because you want to have a proper texture to the walls, you don't want the walls to be bad looking aesthetically as well. Secondly, then you have class B brick, which has got um, lesser strength as well as less, it's not of that good aesthetics, but it could still be used in construction of outer periphery walls, like the boundary wall of your house, bahar wala diwar, and then these types of bricks could be used in constructions which are not of particular significance. Then you have class C bricks, which are meant for such situations where you have uh, the uh, worse quality of bricks. Then I told you they could be used for underground constructions where the load is not required to be taken. Their strength is also less, and they are overburned or they are underburned as well. वो yellowish color के होंगे या तो black color के होंगे. So a building unit made up of bricks, their suitability is as per their classification. We'll stop here. Next class, we'll still continue this with the blocks, and we'll also take up the block would be our final. Then we'll start up with the brick construction first of all, and how different types of brick units are laid one above the other. We have to check that what is the size of a brick, and then how they are laid one above the other. How can you get different patterns to the brick walls? Like for example, here in the virtual background here, you are seeing a brick being laid as running units one above the other, but there could be bricks where bricks are laid in the other direction as well. And then how are the joints connected in the bricks? How do you ensure the earthquake resistance once you connect the building units? That's very important. Using bricks to get earthquake resistance through laying them in different patterns